Hey guys, tonight we are discussing about one day you live in 1850s without phones and noise. Let's know, what if you lived one full day in 1850, no phones, no noise. So if this story helps you asleep, then like and subscribe, and also drop where you listening from in comment. All right, let's head back to our story. Let's begin. You wake up slowly, not because something told you to, not because a screen lit up, not because a loud sound scared your soul out of your body. You wake up because your body says, okay, it's morning now. Your eyes open, but nothing flashes. No alarm clock screaming like it's angry at you. No phone buzzing next to your pillow. No digital numbers glowing in the dark. Just light. A soft, pale light slides into the room through a small window. The kind of light that doesn't rush. It doesn't demand attention. It just quietly arrives, like it's being polite. For a moment, you're confused. Your brain reaches for things that aren't there. Where's my phone? What time is it? Did I miss something? You move your hand, expecting smooth glass and notifications. Instead, your fingers touch rough fabric, thick blankets,
Heavy.
warm, real. That's when it hits you. This room is quiet, not modern quiet, not the fake quiet where there's still a hum, a buzz, a distant sound of electricity hiding somewhere. This is really quiet. You hear your own breathing. Slow, calm, a little louder than usual because there's nothing else competing with it. The bed beneath you doesn't feel soft like memory foam. It feels firm, solid, like it has one job, and that job is just to exist. You sit up slowly. The room is simple. Wooden walls, a small table, maybe a chair. No wires, no screens, no blinking lights asking for updates or passwords. There's no clock telling you that you're late. Actually, you don't even know what late means yet. For a second, there's panic, just a small one. How do I start the day if nothing tells me to? But then something strange happens. That panic fades because nothing bad is happening. Outside the window, you hear it. Birds, not one, not two, a whole casual conversation of them. No rush, no schedule. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're just doing bird stuff. Somewhere farther away, there's a soft sound. Maybe footsteps, maybe a horse, maybe someone opening a door, all slow, all gentle. No engines, no traffic, no neighbor's TV blasting news you didn't ask for. You swing your legs off the bed. The floor is cool. Not freezing. Just cool enough to remind you that you're awake now. Your feet feel the texture of wood that's been walked on for years. Every step has history in it. You stand there for a moment doing nothing. And that's allowed. In the modern world, doing nothing for even 30 seconds feels illegal. Your brain starts screaming, check something, scroll something, answer something. But here, Nothing is asking for you. No notifications, no messages, no breaking news. No, you might like this nonsense. Your mind feels oddly empty. And for the first time, that doesn't feel scary. It feels clean. You walk toward the window. It's small, but it doesn't need to be big. Outside, the world looks like it's just waking up too. The sky isn't bright yet. It's soft. It's stretching. You realize something important. Morning in 1850 doesn't attack you. It doesn't shove a to-do list in your face before your eyes are even focused. It doesn't judge you for staying in bed too long. Morning here waits for you. You lean slightly against the wall. The air in the room smells different, not like plastic or screens warming up. It smells like wood, like fabric, like air that actually came from outside. Your thoughts start drifting, not jumping, drifting. In the modern world, mornings feel like being dropped into moving traffic. Your brain has to dodge sounds, lights, and information just to survive the first 10 minutes. Here, your brain walks instead of runs. You suddenly realize how tired you usually are. Not body tired, brain tired. That tiredness isn't here yet. There's a tiny smile on your face, and you don't even notice it happening. You don't know what time it is, but somehow you don't care. That might be the strangest part. You hear someone outside cough softly. A door creaks. Somewhere, a rooster does what roosters do best, reminding everyone that it exists. It's not annoying. It's kind of funny. You think, wow, this is the alarm clock. And honestly, it's doing a great job. You stretch, slow and unplanned. No fitness app counting it. No goal. No streak to maintain. Just a stretch because your body wants one. The silence isn't empty anymore. It's full of small sounds that feel real because they don't repeat every 5 seconds. You realize something else. In 1850, waking up isn't a battle. It's a transition. You don't switch from sleep to stress in 1 second. You slide from dreams into daylight, gently. Like stepping into shallow water instead of being pushed into the deep end. And standing there in that quiet room with soft light and no noise chasing you, you understand why people back then didn't complain about mornings the way we do. Mornings weren't loud enough to hate. You take one last deep breath. The day hasn't started yet. And for the first time in a long time, that feels perfectly okay. You look around the room again, this time more slowly. Now that the shock of waking up is gone, details start to show themselves. Not flashy details, quiet ones. The bedroom is small, not cramped, just enough. Enough space to sleep, to sit, to think. Nothing extra. Nothing trying to impress you. There's no glowing rectangle anywhere. No phone on the table. No charger sneaking behind furniture. No blinking light reminding you that something needs power. Actually, nothing here needs power. The bed is simple. Wood frame, no buttons, no settings. You can't adjust firmness or temperature. The bed doesn't care about your preferences. And somehow that feels fair. The blankets are heavy, not fancy. They sit on you like they're saying, relax. We got this. You notice the pillows. They're not perfect. A little uneven, a little lumpy. They look like they've been used for years, maybe decades. And you know what? They still work. Next to the bed is a small wooden table. Just a table. No drawers full of cables. No clutter of random stuff you don't remember buying. On it, there might be a book or maybe a candle, maybe both. No remote control. You almost laugh. In the modern world, bedrooms are command centers. Phones, tablets, watches, screens watching you while you sleep. Even silence has a charger. Here, the room doesn't watch you back. You walk closer to the window. It doesn't go from floor to ceiling. It's not dramatic. It's practical, built to let light in, not attention. The glass isn't perfect. It bends the light slightly, making the outside look softer. Like the world is being filtered naturally without an app. You look at the walls. They're plain. No posters. No neon signs. No motivational quotes yelling at you to rise and grind. Thank goodness. These walls don't tell you who to be. They just exist. You realize something important. Nothing in this room is trying to sell you anything. No ads, no subscriptions, no upgrades. The room doesn't care if you're productive today. You sit back down on the bed. It makes a quiet sound, a soft creak, the kind of sound that tells you this bed has heard a lot of lives. A lot of sleep, a lot of quiet thinking. That creak feels honest. In the modern world, silence is suspicious. If something makes a noise, we try to fix it, oil it, replace it, return it. Here, small sounds are normal. They don't mean something is broken. They mean something is alive. You notice the light again. It's changing slowly, very slowly. The room looks different now than it did 5 minutes ago. Time here doesn't jump. It moves like it has nowhere else to be. There's no clock on the wall. That feels strange at first. How do you know what time it is? Then it clicks. You know the feeling of time instead. Is it bright? Is it warm? Is it quiet? That's the schedule. You touch the wall. It's cool. Solid. No hidden wires buzzing behind it. No outlets waiting to be used. The room feels finished, complete. It doesn't need updates. You think about modern bedrooms, how they glow at night, how screens stay on longer than you do, how sleep has to fight for attention. Here, sleep wins easily. Darkness comes and the room accepts it. Light arrives and the room welcomes it. No settings. No blue light filters. No night mode. Nature handles it. There's a strange comfort in knowing that when night comes, this room will actually be dark. Real dark. The kind that lets your brain fully shut down instead of half closing one eye. You imagine trying to explain this room to someone from the future. No Wi-Fi, no electricity, no charging. They'd panic. But standing here, you don't feel panic. You feel lighter. Your thoughts don't bounce off notifications. They move slower, softer. Like they're finally allowed to finish a sentence. You lie back down for a moment just to feel it. No phone slipping onto your face. No alarm waiting to interrupt. No background noise pretending to be silence. Just you, the room, and time doing its thing. You stare at the ceiling. It's plain, no patterns, no screensaver pretending to be stars. And yet your mind doesn't get bored. It wanders. You think about how people in 1850 ended their days in this room, how they came in tired, how they didn't scroll before sleeping, how darkness told them it was time. This bedroom didn't fight sleep. It supported it. You realize how modern bedrooms try to do too much. They want to entertain you, inform you, distract you, wake you up, and put you to sleep all at once. This one has one job, rest, and it's very good at it. You sit up again, slow and easy. Soon you'll leave this room. The day will continue. Work will happen. Life will move forward. But this room, it stays calm. It stays ready for you to come back. No passwords, no updates, no missed notifications waiting with guilt. Just quiet walls, a patient bed, and light that knows when to leave. And as you step away from the bed, one thought floats through your mind. Maybe people in 1850 slept better, not because life was easier, but because their bedrooms finally let them. You open the door and step outside, not dramatically, just step. And the first thing you notice isn't what you see. It's what you don't hear. There's no rush of sound hitting you in the face. No engine starting. No horns yelling for no reason. No city humming like a giant machine that never sleeps. The air feels open, wide, like it's not crowded with noise. You pause without meaning to. Outside in 1850 doesn't demand movement. It invites it. The ground beneath your feet isn't smooth concrete, it's uneven. Dirt, stone. Earth that remembers footsteps instead of erasing them. You hear birds again. They're louder out here, but not loud in an annoying way. They sound like they're just talking to each other. No audience. No performance somewhere nearby. A rooster announces morning, more like it's very proud of itself. You smile a little. It's doing its job. And honestly, it's doing it with confidence. The sky stretches wide above you. No lines cutting across it. No blinking lights. No distant airplanes leaving trails behind. Just sky. You breathe in, The air smells clean, not air freshener, clean, real clean, like grass, like soil, like wood warming up as the sun rises. You didn't realize how much smell mattered until now. In the modern world, mornings smell like coffee machines, fuel, and whatever perfume people sprayed 5 minutes too late. Here, the smell tells you what time it is. Morning has a scent. You start walking. No one rushes past you. No bikes flying by. No cars pretending you don't exist. Just a few people moving at the same slow speed as the day. Someone nods at you. Not a big greeting. Just a small nod, like saying, I see you. That's enough. It feels nice. You notice how sound behaves here. It doesn't bounce. It doesn't echo endlessly. When someone speaks, their voice exists, then fades. Silence returns naturally. No background noise waiting to take over. You hear footsteps. Not many. Just enough to remind you that you're not alone. A door opens somewhere. Wood against wood. A clean sound, honest. In the modern world, silence feels temporary, like it's about to be interrupted any second. Here, silence feels stable, like it belongs. You realize something important. Silence isn't rare here. It's normal. Your brain reacts in a strange way. At first, it keeps expecting something to happen. A notification, a sound, a distraction. Nothing comes. After a few minutes, your thoughts slow down. They stop racing each other. They start lining up instead. You find yourself noticing tiny things. The way sunlight touches the ground. The shadow of a tree moving slowly. Dust floating in the air like it has nowhere else to go. You laugh quietly to yourself. In your old life, you'd miss all this while checking your phone to see what you already know. You walk past a few buildings. Simple. Functional. No giant signs screaming for attention. No ads promising happiness in 5 easy steps. Buildings here don't try to be cool. They try to last. You hear a cart rolling somewhere. Wood wheels. Slow. Rhythmic. The sound doesn't stress you out. It relaxes you. Like a steady heartbeat for the town. People speak softly. Not because they're told to. Because there's no reason to shout. Without noise competing, voices don't need to fight. You stop again just to stand there and you realize something else. Your shoulders are lower. You didn't tell them to relax. They just did. The silence outside isn't empty. It's filled with small life sounds that don't demand attention. They exist whether you listen or not. That's the difference. In the modern world, sound wants you. Here, sound lets you come to it. You hear wind move through leaves. Not loud, just enough to remind you that air is moving, that the world is alive even when it's quiet. Time feels thicker here, like each minute has weight. Back home, mornings disappear. You blink and suddenly it's afternoon. Here, morning stays. It lingers. It doesn't get pushed out by urgency. You think about how people start their days in this silence, how they step into it every morning, how their minds grow up knowing this pace. No wonder evenings felt calm. The day didn't exhaust them with noise first. You walk a little farther. There's no music playing anywhere. No one filling silence, because silence doesn't feel awkward here. You imagine turning on a phone speaker right now. It would feel rude, like shouting in a library. You smile again. Silence has manners. You realize how modern life trains us to fear quiet moments, to escape them, to fill them instantly. But standing here in this slow morning, you understand something simple. Silence doesn't take anything from you. It gives space. Space to think, space to feel, space to just exist without performing. You take another deep breath. Your mind feels clearer than it has in a long time. Not because you did anything special, but because nothing interrupted you. As you continue walking, the day feels like it's opening in front of you instead of pushing from behind. No pressure, no rush, just a quiet world waking up alongside you. And for the first time, you realize morning silence isn't something people in 1850 noticed. It's something they lived inside. Eventually, you realize something. Standing around feeling peaceful is nicey, but the day is waiting, not rushing, just waiting. You head back inside to get ready. There's no bathroom like the ones you know. No mirrors with lights around them. No shelves full of bottles promising miracles in 7 days. Just a small space. Simple. Honest. You look for a sink. There is one, but it's not attached to a wall with shiny metal. It's a bowl, a real bowl, sitting quietly like it's been doing this job forever. Water doesn't arrive with a twist of a handle. You have to bring it. At first, this feels strange, slightly annoying. Your modern brain whispers, this is inefficient. But then you notice something. Nothing here is trying to be fast. You pour the water slowly. You can hear it. Every drop, no rushing roar. Just a gentle splash. You dip your hands in, cold, not shocking. Just enough to wake you up properly. The kind of cold that says, good morning. Yes, you are alive. You splash your face. There's no mirror right in front of you, so you don't instantly judge yourself. No checking angles. No fixing tiny things no one else will notice. You just feel awake. You dry your face with a cloth, rougher than a modern towel. It doesn't feel fancy, but it works. It's honest about what it is. You realize how much modern mornings are about appearance, fixing, adjusting, perfecting. Here, getting ready is about function. You're not preparing to be seen. You're preparing to live the day. You move on to getting dressed. The clothes are heavy, layered, not designed to show off, designed to last, to protect, to keep you warm and useful. You pull on a shirt, it doesn't stretch, it doesn't hug you, it just fits. Buttons take time. Real buttons, you have to focus for a moment. You can't button while scrolling. There's nothing to scroll. Your hands work. Your mind stays quiet. You realize this is the first time today your brain isn't split into 10 directions. It's just here. Putting on clothes becomes a small ritual. One piece at a time, each movement slow. No rush to beat traffic. No countdown running in your head. You don't check the time. You don't even wonder what time it is. That feels wild. You tie something, adjust something, smooth something down. You're not late. You're not early. You're ready when you're ready. That's it. You stretch your shoulders. The clothes feel solid, like they expect you to do real things today. Not sit still, not stare at screens. You think, okay, I guess I'm dressed. And that's enough. There's no playlist playing in the background, no podcast filling the silence, no video explaining how to optimize your morning routine. The silence stays, and it feels supportive, not awkward. You notice your breathing again, steady, calm, unrushed. In modern life, getting ready is a race. Every step is timed. Every delay feels like failure. Here, the process itself is the morning. You move slower without trying to. Your body adjusts naturally, like it remembers this pace from somewhere deep inside. You look around one last time. Nothing has changed. No notifications arrived while you were busy. No messages piled up. No news waiting to stress you out. That still feels unbelievable. You step back toward the door. As you do, you realize something important. You didn't multitask once. You washed. You dressed. You thought one thing at a time, and it didn't feel boring. It felt grounding. In the modern world, silence during routines feels uncomfortable. We fill it with noise, so we don't have to sit with ourselves. Here, silence just exists beside you. Calm, neutral, patient. You open the door again. The outside world is still quiet, still waiting, still moving at the same slow speed. Nothing got louder while you were inside. That's another strange feeling. The world didn't speed up without you. You step out, fully ready now, not polished, not optimized, not on brand, just ready. Ready in the way people were ready in 1850. Clean enough, dressed enough, awake enough. And as you take your first step into the rest of the day, you realize something simple and surprising. Getting ready didn't drain you. It didn't overwhelm you. It didn't steal your energy before the day even started. Instead, quietly gave it back. By the time you reach the place where breakfast happens, your body already knows what to do. Not because a schedule told it, because hunger arrived quietly, The room is simple like everything else. A wooden table, a few chairs, nothing. Matches perfectly, but nothing feels wrong either. It looks like it's been used every day, and it's proud of that. Breakfast in 1850 doesn't try to impress you. It doesn't come with options, no menace, no choose your favorite. There's just food, bread, thick slices, not soft like modern bread that disappears when you touch it. This bread has weight. It asks your teeth to work a little. There might be porridge. Plain. Warm, steam rising slowly like it's not in a hurry to cool down. Tea, maybe. Or just water. No sugar rush waiting to slap you awake. You sit down. The chair makes a small sound, the polite kind. It doesn't squeak loudly. Just enough to remind you that you sat. No one pulls out a phone. That's an odd thought. No one checks messages. No one scrolls. No one watches anything while eating. At first, your hands don't know what to do. You're used to holding something, a phone, a screen, a distraction. Here, your hands just hold food. You take a bite of bread. It tastes simple, not exciting, not boring, just honest. Grain, warmth. Something made to keep you going. You chew slowly, not because you're trying to be mindful, because there's no reason not to. No notifications waiting, no emails arriving, no urge to rush. The room is quiet, but not awkward. A few small sounds exist. The clink of a spoon, a breath, someone shifting in their chair. Silence sits at the table like an old friend. You realize something funny. In the modern world, breakfast is usually rushed or skipped or eaten while staring at bad news or eaten while standing. Here, breakfast is breakfast. Nothing more, nothing less. You take another bite. Your mind starts wandering, but gently, not racing, not panicking. You think about how people in 1850 started every day like this. No screens telling them what to worry about before the sun fully rose. No headlines screaming urgency, just food, quiet. Morning, you notice how your body feels. Steadier, no sudden spike, no crash waiting around the corner, just fuel arriving slowly. Someone across the table might say a few words. Nothing dramatic. Maybe about the weather, maybe about the day ahead. The conversation doesn't try to fill the silence. It respects it. You smile a little. In modern life, silence at the table feels uncomfortable. We turn on music. We turn on TVs. We talk just to avoid quiet. Here, silence feels normal, expected. You don't feel the need to perform. You don't need to react to anything. You don't need to have opinions yet. It's still morning. Your brain isn't fully awake, and that's okay. You sip your tea. It's warm, not fancy. No foam art, no complicated name, just tea. You imagine explaining this breakfast to someone from your old life. No phone, no videos, no rush. They think it sounds boring, but sitting here, you don't feel bored. You feel grounded. You notice the light again and it moves across the table slowly. Shadows shift without drama. Time passes, but it doesn't disappear. You eat until you're done, not until a plate is empty because it says you should. Until your body quietly says, that's enough. And you listen. That might be the most surprising part. In modern life, we ignore those signals. We eat fast. We eat distracted. We eat without noticing. Here, it's hard not to notice. You wipe your hands. The cloth feels familiar, like it's been doing this job for years. No paper towels. No waste. Just reuse. Again and again, breakfast ends the same way it began. Naturally. No one announces it. No one announces it. No bell rings. People just finish. Chairs slide back softly. Dishes are cleared without noise. There's no rush to get up and run. You stand slowly. Your stomach feels warm, comfortable, ready. You don't feel sleepy from overeating. You don't feel wired from sugar. You feel balanced. As you step away from the table, one thought settles into your mind. This meal didn't entertain you. And that's why it worked. It fed your body without hijacking your attention. In the modern world, we asked food to do too much, to excite us, to distract us, to comfort us instantly. Here, food has one job: to prepare you for the day. And take one last look at the table. You take one last look at the table. Sue will be used again tomorrow, the day after. Same way. Same calm. Breakfast in 1850 isn't a highlight. It's a foundation. And as you step into the rest of the morning, feeling steady and unhurried, you realize something simple. Starting the day without noise doesn't make life smaller. It makes it clearer. After breakfast, no one says, let's go. People just go. You step outside again, and walking becomes the main way life moves forward. Not driving, not rushing, just walking. Your feet touch the ground, and this time you really notice it. Every step matters here, not in a dramatic way, in a quiet way. The ground isn't flat or perfect. It changes slightly under you. Dirt, stone, packed earth. It reminds you that you're actually moving through a place, not floating over it. There's no road noise welcoming you, no engines warming up, no tires hissing, no horns warning you that you exist, just space. You walk at a natural pace, not fast, not slow, just the speed your body chooses when no one is chasing it. That speed feels surprisingly good. You notice how far you can hear. A sound happens and it travels. You can tell where it comes from. Nothing overlaps. Nothing fights for attention. A cart rolls by slowly. Wood wheels turning with patience. It doesn't rush past you. It shares the path like it has time. Someone walks ahead of you. Their footsteps are steady. No headphones. No phone glued to their hand. They're just walking. That feels rare in the modern world. Walking is usually something we do while doing something else, talking, scrolling, thinking about being late. Here, walking is the thing. Your arms swing naturally. Your breath settles into a rhythm without effort. You're not counting steps. You're not tracking distance. Your body already knows how to do this. You pass houses and buildings. They're close enough to feel like a community, but not crowded. Nothing towers over you. Nothing blocks the sky. You can always see the horizon. That does something to your mind. You realize how often modern life feels boxed in. Walls, screens, ceilings, cars. Here, the world feels open, even when it's small. You hear voices in the distance, soft, human. They don't echo loudly. They blend into the day. No loudspeakers, no announcements, no background music deciding your mood for you. You choose your mood. And somehow, it chooses calm. You notice your thoughts again. They're not jumping. They're strolling alongside you. You think about small things. The way light hits a fence. The way shadows move as you walk past trees. Nothing urgent appears in your mind. And when it does, it doesn't stay long. You smile to yourself. Walking like this feels almost rebellious compared to modern life. Like you're breaking a rule you didn't know existed. You pass someone carrying something heavy. They nod at you. Maybe they say, good morning. Maybe they don't. Either way, it feels friendly. No forced smiles. No pretending. Just acknowledgement. You keep walking. Time stretches out. You don't know how long you've been moving, but it doesn't matter. Your legs aren't tired. Your mind isn't bored. You realize that walking isn't just transport here. It's thinking time. It's noticing time. It's nothing at all time. And that's allowed in the modern world. We try to eliminate walking. Shortcuts, vehicles, convenience, anything to get there faster. But standing here, moving at human speed, you start to understand something simple. Faster doesn't always feel better. Walking lets the world meet you at the same pace you're ready for it. You hear a dog bark somewhere. Not angry, just announcing itself. A few birds respond like it's part of the conversation. You laugh quietly. Even the animals seem relaxed. You notice there's no advertising trying to grab your attention. No signs shouting deals. No screens flashing colors. Your eyes finally get to rest. They look where they want to look. You don't feel pulled. You feel guided by curiosity instead of urgency. Your shoulders stay loose. Your jaw unclenches without you telling it to. You didn't realize it was tight before. This walk is doing something to you. You think about how people in 1850 walked everywhere, how their days were built around movement instead of sitting still. No wonder sleep came easily. Their bodies earned it. You slow down without meaning to. Not because you're tired, because there's no reason to hurry. You look up at the sky again. It's still there, still wide, still quiet. Nothing has changed while you walked, and that's comforting. In modern life, if you disconnect for even a few minutes, you feel like you missed something important. Here, you could walk for hours and nothing would fall apart. The world doesn't depend on your attention. That feels like freedom. You reach where you're going, but it doesn't feel like an arrival. It just feels like the next place. Walking didn't drain you. It settled you. As you stop, you take one more slow breath and realize something gentle but powerful. Moving through a quiet world doesn't make you feel smaller. It makes you feel like you finally fit. Work doesn't start with a notification. No email arrives. No reminder pops up. No calendar tells you it's time. Work begins because the day has reached that point. You arrive where the work happens. It might be a field, a small workshop, a shop with an open door, a home where work and life share the same space. Nothing separates office from real life here. There's no desk waiting for you with perfect posture rules, no chair designed to trap you for 8 hours. Work in 1850 stands there quietly, like it's been waiting. You look at what needs to be done. It's clear, not because someone explained it in a long message, because you can see it. Wood needs shaping. Tools need cleaning. Crops need tending. Clothes need fixing. Something physical needs attention. You pick up a tool. It has weight. You feel it in your hand. Solid. Honest. It doesn't vibrate. It doesn't beep. It doesn't need charging. It just works when you use it. The first movement feels slow, a little awkward. Your body is adjusting. Then it finds a rhythm. Work here doesn't demand speed. It asks for presence. You focus on the task in front of you, not 10 tasks, just one. Your hands move. Your mind stays with them. That feels rare in the modern world. Work is mostly thinking about work. Emails about work, meetings about work, stress about work. Here, work is doing. You hear sounds begin to form around you, soft ones, repeating ones, a tool tapping, fabric brushing, footsteps moving nearby. These sounds don't interrupt you. They guide you like a steady beat. You're not being watched. No supervisor hovering, no software tracking your activity, no feeling that you need to look busy even when nothing needs doing. You work because the work exists. That's it. Time passes, but you don't feel it slipping away. It stacks gently, minute by minute, like something being built instead of something being lost. You stop for a moment, not because you're tired, just because you need to adjust your grip. You look up. No one panics when you pause. No one tells you to hurry. Pauses are allowed here. You continue. The work isn't exciting. It's not boring either. It sits somewhere in between, like a quiet road that doesn't change much. And that's what makes it calming. Your thoughts don't scatter. They stay close. They don't have far to go. You realize how often modern work keeps the body still and the mind exhausted. This work does the opposite. Your body moves. Your mind rests. You feel useful without feeling drained. There's a strange satisfaction in seeing progress with your eyes instead of a screen. Something looks different because you touched it, shaped it, finished it. No. Send. Button required. You hear someone nearby clear their throat. Maybe they say a few words. Short. Practical. No long conversations. No small talk just to fill space. Silence carries most of the time, and no one is uncomfortable with that. You work alongside others, but not inside their heads. Everyone is focused on their own task. There's a shared understanding without constant communication that feels respectful. You notice sweat forming, not the stress. Kind. The honest kind. Your body is doing what it was designed to do. You take a breath. It feels deep, natural, not forced. You don't check the time. You don't wonder how long until a break. Breaks happen when they're needed. Work in 1850 doesn't trap you inside numbers and hours. It follows daylight. It follows energy. When the sun moves, the work responds. You think about modern jobs, how work follows clocks instead of bodies, how people stay exhausted because stopping feels like failure. Here, stopping feels normal. You pause again, stretch your hands, roll your shoulders. No guilt arrives. You smile at that. The work continues steady and calm. There's no pressure to be passionate about it. No one tells you to love what you do. You don't have to love it. You just have to do it. And somehow that makes it lighter. You understand now why people slept deeply at night. Their days didn't live inside their heads. Their worries didn't follow them home through screens. Work stayed where it happened. You finish a small part of the task, not everything. Just one piece. That's enough for now. You step back and look at it. It's not perfect. It doesn't need to be. It's done. And done feels good. As you prepare to move on, you realize something simple and powerful. Work in 1850 doesn't chase you. It meets you where you are. And for the first time in a long while, work doesn't feel like something you survive. It feels like something you pass through calmly, one quiet movement at a time. After a while, you stop noticing the work itself. Not because it disappears, but because something else takes over. Sound. Not loud sound. Not annoying sound. Just small, steady noises that live around you like they belong there. A tool taps against wood. Again, again. Again, again. The sound isn't sharp, it's dull and warm, like it's been softened by years of being used the same way. Someone nearby moves their feet. The ground answers quietly. Fabric brushes against fabric. A soft whisper of movement. These sounds don't interrupt your thoughts. They organize them. You didn't realize how loud modern workspaces are until now. Keyboards clacking, phones buzzing, machines humming nonstop. Even silence there feels tense, like it's waiting to break. Here, sound doesn't attack, it repeats. And repetition does something gentle to your brain. Your breathing slowly matches the rhythm of what you hear. You're not trying to relax. It just happens. Tap, scrape, step. You notice how each sound has space around it. Nothing overlaps too much. Nothing fights to be heard. When someone speaks, their voice fits into the quiet instead of cutting through it. A few words. Practical, calm, then silence returns, like it knows when it's needed. You keep working, and the sounds become familiar, predictable. Safe. There are no sudden noises here. Nothing startles you. Nothing pulls your attention away violently. Your nervous system relaxes without permission. You realize something a little funny. If someone from the modern world heard this, they might call it boring. But your body disagrees. Your body feels steady, focused, almost peaceful. You think about how often modern life fills every quiet moment with noise. Music everywhere, videos everywhere, someone always talking. Here, sound only exists when something is happening. And when nothing happens, silence steps in naturally. You hear wind move through a nearby opening, not strong, just enough to stir the air. It carries smells with it. Wood, earth, warm fabric, sound and smell work together here. They tell you what's happening without words. You don't need updates. You already know. You pause for a moment listening. Somewhere farther away, someone laughs softly, not loud, not performative. Just a quick sound that rises and falls. It doesn't echo. It doesn't invite attention. It simply exists. Then it's gone. You smile. Laughter doesn't need an audience here. You return to your task. The sound your work makes becomes familiar enough that you barely notice it, yet steady enough that you miss it when it stops. That's when you understand something important. These sounds aren't noise. They're signals of life continuing calmly. In the modern world, silence often feels uncomfortable because it's rare. Silence feels normal because sound doesn't overstay its welcome. You stop working for a moment, everything quiets down, no ringing, no buzzing, no phantom vibrations, just stillness. Your mind doesn't panic. It rests. You start again. The sound returns like a friend tapping you on the shoulder. You think about how people in 1850 fell asleep at night after hearing these kinds of sounds all day. No wonder their dreams were quiet too. Their ears weren't exhausted. They weren't filled with chaos. They were tuned to human-sized noise. You realize how much sound affects who we are. How loud environments make us tense. how constant noise keeps us alert even when there's no danger. Here, sound tells you everything is okay. Nothing urgent is happening. You work a little longer, letting the rhythm carry you. Time doesn't disappear. It moves gently, marked by repeated sounds, instead of ticking clocks. You don't wonder how long you've been here. You don't count. You just listen. And as the work slowly comes to a pause, the sounds fade naturally. No sudden silence. Just a soft landing. You stand still for a moment, ears open. The quiet feels earned. You take a breath and you realize something simple and comforting. In 1850, sound didn't steal attention. It supported it, and that made even work feel like part of a calm, living rhythm. Not something you had to escape from. At some point, the work doesn't stop because it's finished. It stops because the day says so. The sun has moved higher now. Not harsh, just present. It sits above everything like it's watching quietly, not judging. You feel it before anyone says anything. Your body tells you. Movements slow down a little. Hands rest longer between actions. Breathing deepens without effort. This is the midday pause. Not a break announced by a bell. Not a timer going off. Just a shared understanding. Work eases itself to the side. You step away and find a place to sit. Maybe it's a bench, maybe a patch of shade, maybe just the ground. No one worries about posture. Comfort comes first. You sit, and the quiet feels different now than it did in the morning. Morning silence felt fresh, new. Like a beginning, this silence feels warm, settled. The sounds of work are gone, but the world hasn't gone silent. Insects hum lightly. Wind moves lazily. Somewhere far away, life continues at the same calm speed. Nothing urgent needs your attention. That feels strange in a good way. In the modern world, pauses feel uncomfortable. We fill them fast. Scroll. Snack. Check. Do something. Here, pausing is the activity. You lean back slightly. Your muscles feel used, but not exhausted. The good kind of tired. The kind that doesn't ask for a screen. It asks for stillness. You notice how your thoughts behave now. They don't rush in all at once. They arrive one by one, then leave when they're done. You think about nothing important. Then you think about something small. Then nothing again. It's peaceful. Someone nearby stretches and lets out a quiet breath. Not a sigh of stress, just a release. You almost laugh. This is what rest looks like when it doesn't feel guilty. No one checks the time. No one asks, how long is the break? Breaks don't have a length here. They have a feeling. When energy returns, work will too. You look around. People sit quietly. Some look at the ground. Some look at the sky. Some close their eyes for a moment. No one is entertained. And yet, no one looks bored. That surprises you. You realize boredom isn't about having nothing to do. It's about wanting to escape the moment you're in. Here, no one is trying to escape. The day doesn't push them. It holds them. You feel the warmth of the sun on your face. Not strong enough to burn, just enough to remind you that you're alive and outside. You didn't realize how rare that feeling became in modern life, even when we rest, our minds stay busy, planning, worrying, preparing. Here, rest actually rests. You take a deep breath without thinking about it. Your body feels safe. That's the word. Safe. No alarms about deadlines. No background stress humming under everything. Just the middle of the day, existing as it always has. You hear a distant sound. Maybe someone talking far away. The sound drifts in, then fades out. No curiosity pulls you toward it. You don't need to know everything. You think about how midday pauses disappeared in modern life, how lunch became rushed, eaten while working, or eaten while distracted. Here, midday feels important, not productive. Important. It divides the day gently. Morning on one side, afternoon on the other. You realize how much your body appreciates that. Someone stands up slowly. Another person remains seated. There's no group movement, no pressure. Everyone listens to their own energy. That feels respectful. You shift your position. The ground is firm, honest. It doesn't try to be soft. You don't mind. You close your eyes for a moment. Sounds soften. Light dims behind your eyelids. You're not sleeping. You're just pausing. Your thoughts slow even more. If someone asked you what you were doing right now, the honest answer would be nothing. And that feels completely fine. You open your eyes again. The world looks the same. Nothing changed while you rested. And that might be the most comforting part. In modern life, rest feels risky, like things might fall apart if you stop paying attention. Here, things hold together on their own. You stretch lightly. No one rushes you back to work. The pause ends naturally. You feel it in your body before you see it around you. Energy returns quietly, not excitement, readiness. You stand when you're ready, not because you must, because you can. As you prepare to move again, one simple thought settles into your mind. This pause wasn't wasted time. It was part of the day. And for the first time, rest didn't feel like something you had to earn. It felt like something the world gave you freely. After the pause, hunger returns quietly. It doesn't rush in. It doesn't shout. It just shows up like a gentle reminder. Midday meals in 1850 don't feel special. And that's exactly what makes them feel right. You move toward where the food is, slow and unplanned. No one checks the time. No one announces lunch. It's just time. The meal is simple, even simpler than breakfast. There's no table set to impress, no decorations, no extra plates, just in case. The food exists to be eaten, not photographed. Bread again, maybe soup, something warm, something filling. You sit where there's space, no assigned seats, no perfect arrangement. You notice how quiet it is, not the kind of quiet that feels awkward, the kind that feels settled, like the day is taking a deep breath with you. You take the first bite. It's warm. That's the main thing you notice, not flavor explosions, not excitement, just warmth spreading slowly. Your body relaxes when it feels it. You chew without distraction. No screens. No sounds competing for attention. no pressure to hurry. Your mind stays where your body is. That feels rare. You realize how often modern meals are eaten in pieces. One bite here, one bite there, always half present. Here, eating is the only thing happening. And because of that, it feels complete. Someone nearby might speak quietly, a sentence or two. Nothing urgent, nothing dramatic. Then silence returns like it was never interrupted. You don't miss noise. You don't wish for music. The meal doesn't need entertainment. It's doing its job. You feel the food settle in your stomach slowly. No rush, no heaviness, just steady energy arriving. You notice how your body reacts differently to this meal. No spike, no crash waiting later, no sudden sleepiness, just balance. You think about how modern lunches are rushed, skipped, or eaten while staring at stress, how food becomes fuel instead of a moment. Here, food is a pause inside the day, not a reward, not a break from work, part of the rhythm. You look around, people eat without comparing, without judging, without counting. No one worries about calories or timing. They trust their bodies. That trust feels old, ancient, forgotten. You take another slow bite. You notice the texture, the temperature, the weight of the spoon in your hand. Tiny details become noticeable when nothing else is screaming for attention. You almost laugh quietly. This would be called boring today. And yet it doesn't feel boring at all. It feels grounding. You finish when you're done, not when the bowl is empty, not when everyone else stops, when your body says enough. And you listen, that feels like a skill you forgot you had. There's no dessert waiting, no sweet thing calling your name. And surprisingly, you don't miss it. You wipe your hands. The cloth feels familiar again, soft from use, not disposable. Reliable. The meal ends without ceremony. No announcement. No rush back to work. People sit for a moment longer, letting the food settle, letting the silence stay. You sit too. Your body feels steady, warm, ready, but not eager. The afternoon will come when it comes. Nothing needs to be forced. You stand slowly when it feels right. The day continues without changing its pace. No sudden energy spikes. No crash waiting later. Just a smooth transition from eating back into living. As you step away, one simple thought stays with you. This meal didn't excite you. It didn't distract you. It didn't demand anything from you. And that's exactly why it worked. In 1850, food didn't try to be more than food. And because of that, it quietly supported the rest of the day instead of stealing from it. The afternoon doesn't arrive loudly. It just happens. The sun shifts a little. The light changes color. Shadows stretch without making a big deal about it. This is the longest part of the day. And somehow, the calmest in the modern world afternoons feel strange. Too tired to start something big. Too early to stop. Minds drift. Energy drops. Screens take over. But here, afternoons don't fight you. They slow down with you. Work continues, but gently. Not with the same strength as the morning. Movements are smaller now, more thoughtful. No one expects peak performance. That idea doesn't exist yet. You return to your tasks, but the pace is different. There's less urgency, more patience. Hands move. Then pause. Then move again. No one asks you to hurry. The quiet afternoon wraps around everything like a soft blanket. Not sleepy, just calm. You notice how sound changes at this time of day. Mornings had birds and movement. Midday had stillness. Afternoon has a low hum of life. Insects. Wind. Distant footsteps. Nothing close. Nothing loud. The world feels farther away, like it stepped back to give everyone space. You feel your thoughts stretch out. They wander more now. Not racing, wandering. You think about small things. Memories, random ideas, things that don't need solving. In modern life, afternoons often bring anxiety. The mind starts worrying about what's unfinished. Here, unfinished things wait patiently. You don't feel chased. You feel accompanied by time, not hunted by it. You work a little, then stop. No guilt follows. That's still surprising. You look around. Others do the same. Small efforts, small pauses. Everyone listening to their energy instead of ignoring it. No one pretends to be busy. No one pretends to be productive. They just are. The sun feels warmer now, but not harsh. It touches your skin like a reminder instead of a warning. You wipe your forehead. Honest sweat again. The kind that fades easily. You sit for a moment. No one tells you not to. No one checks if you earned it. Afternoons in 1850 don't try to impress history. They just exist. You realize this is when boredom would normally appear. But it doesn't, because boredom needs noise to fight against. Here, silence is already winning. Your mind drifts again. You notice the way light moves across objects, how shadows slowly crawl, how nothing jumps, everything glides. You hear someone humming quietly, not a song you recognize, maybe not even a real song, just sound filling space gently. They stop when they feel like it. No one claps, no one comments. That feels right. You think about how modern afternoons are filled with artificial energy, coffee, sugar, noise, anything to push through. Here, there's no pushing. If energy drops, it drops. The day allows that. You stretch your hands. They feel used, warm, comfortable. You look up at the sky again, still wide, still calm, no clouds racing, no planes crossing, just slow movement. Time feels thick here, like you could touch it if you wanted to. In the modern world, time slips through fingers. Here, it rests in your palm. You do a little more work, finish a small thing, leave a bigger thing for tomorrow. That's allowed too. Tomorrow exists without pressure. You realize how strange that sounds to your old life. Tomorrow without pressure. You take a deep breath. Your chest feels open. Not tight, not guarded. Afternoon light softens everything it touches. Faces, buildings, ground. Even problems feel softer. You sit again just because. Your mind doesn't yell at you. It doesn't ask what comes next. It enjoys where it is. That might be the biggest difference. In modern life, the present moment is always being replaced by the next thing, the next alert, the next worry. Here, the present stays long enough For you to notice it, you smile faintly. This is what people meant when they said life was slower, not easier. Slower. And slower feels kind. The afternoon stretches on without dragging. It moves like a river that doesn't rush to reach the sea. Eventually, you feel it, not tired, just ready for the next change. The sun starts lowering. Light warms again. Shadows grow longer. No announcement is made, but everyone knows afternoon is slowly letting go. And as you prepare to move with it, one gentle thought settles in your mind. Long, quiet afternoons weren't something people survived in 1850. They were something people lived inside. And maybe that's why the day never felt too heavy to carry. The change is slow enough that you almost miss it. Almost. The light shifts again. Not like a switch turning off. More like a candle slowly burning lower. Afternoon releases its hold without resistance. Evening begins. You notice it first in the shadows. They stretch longer now, touching places they didn't earlier. Corners grow deeper. Shapes soften. Nothing feels dramatic. The world is just dimming. People move a little slower. Voices lower naturally. No one tells anyone to quiet down. The day does that on its own. You feel it in your body too. Muscles loosen. Movements become careful, not tired, just aware. There's no bright artificial light waiting to replace the sun. That changes everything in the modern world. Evening tries to pretend it's still daytime. Lights blast on, screens glow. The body gets confused. Here, the body understands daylight is leaving. So energy gently follows. You step outside or near an opening and watch the sky change color. Soft oranges, faded blues. Nothing sharp. The sky doesn't perform. It settles. You breathe deeper without trying. The sounds around you shift again. Fewer tools, less movement. More quiet. The hum of life lowers its volume. You realize how kind that is. Evening doesn't demand attention. It invites rest. Someone lights a lamp nearby. The flame is small, honest. It doesn't flood the room with light. It creates a circle. That's all you need. Light becomes precious now. Used carefully, not wasted. Shadows dance quietly on the walls. Not scary. Just alive. You find a place to sit again. Sitting feels right in the evening. Your thoughts slow further. They don't disappear. They just stop bumping into each other. You feel present in a way that feels almost old-fashioned. No distractions compete for your eyes. No notifications pull your focus away. Just the room. The light, the quiet. You think about how evenings used to mean something. Not just the end of work, but the beginning of rest. Here, evening has weight. It matters. You hear a few soft sounds. Someone moving. Someone setting something down. Maybe quiet conversation. Nothing carries far. Sound doesn't travel aggressively in dim light. It stays close. You notice how comfortable darkness feels when it arrives slowly. When it doesn't rush. When it doesn't surprise you. Your eyes adjust naturally. You don't fear not seeing everything. You don't need to. You think about how modern nights are filled with light and noise, yet somehow feel empty. Here, the dimness feels full of calm, full of safety, full of time. Your body feels heavier now in a good way, in a good way. Like gravity increased slightly just to keep you grounded. You don't fight it. You let it happen. Evenings in 1850 don't stretch late. They don't try to keep you awake. They guide you toward rest gently, like a hand on your back. You feel grateful without knowing why. Maybe for the quiet, maybe for the darkness, maybe for the permission to slow down. You notice how people's faces look softer in low light. Lines fade. Expressions relax. No one needs to perform anymore. The day already happened. You don't think about tomorrow much. Tomorrow feels far away, not threatening, just waiting. Right now is enough. The flame flickers, slightly responding to the air. You watch it for a moment longer than necessary. It's calming. Your breathing slows even more. You stretch lightly. Your body doesn't ache. It feels used, then released. That balance feels rare. You realize something simple. Evening isn't something you fill. It's something you enter. And once you're inside it, there's nothing you need to add. The dimness continues. The world grows quieter by the minute. No fear follows, just calm. And as the night approaches softly, you understand one thing clearly. In 1850, darkness didn't steal the day. It completed it. The candle becomes the center of everything, not because it's special, but because it's enough. The flame is small, almost shy. It doesn't try to light the whole room. It just claims a little space and stays there. That's how evenings work in 1850. They don't stretch far. They stay close. You sit near the candle, not too close, just close enough to feel its presence. The light warms your face softly. Shadows move gently on the walls. Slow, calm, like they're breathing with you. No harsh brightness, no white glow, just a quiet circle of light. You notice how differently your eyes behave now. They don't jump around. They rest. They focus on one thing at a time. The candle teaches patience. You listen. There's very little sound. A small movement here, a quiet step there, maybe the soft crackle of the flame. That's it. And somehow it feels full. You realize something a little funny. In the modern world, we say we need light to feel safe. Here, too much light would feel wrong. Darkness isn't scary when it's invited slowly. The candle doesn't chase the dark away. It lives beside it. You shift your position slightly. The chair creaks just a bit. No one reacts. Small sounds belong here. You feel your shoulders drop without asking them to. Your jaw unclenches. Your thoughts soften. Evening by candlelight does something to time. It stretches it, but also slows it down. Minutes feel longer, but not heavier. You might talk quietly with someone nearby, not long conversations, just small words, simple thoughts, no storytelling, no debating, just presence. And when silence returns, it feels natural, not forced. You look at the flame again. It moves, but never rushes. It reminds you that energy doesn't need to be loud to exist. You think about how many modern evenings are spent staring at bright rectangles. Mind's busy. Bodies tired but unable to rest. Here, the light tells your body the truth. The day is over. You don't fight that message. You welcome it. You feel sleepy, but not heavy. Calm sleepy, the kind that feels earned. Your breathing is slow now, deep, easy. The candle flickers slightly as air moves through the room. It reacts gently, then steadies itself again. You smile faintly. Even the light knows how to calm down. You notice faces around you again, softer in the glow. Lines fade. Expressions ease. No one looks rushed. No one looks bored. They look settled. Evening by candlelight doesn't need entertainment. The quiet itself feels like something. You rest your hands in your lap. They feel warm, relaxed. The world outside feels far away now. Still there, but not calling you. You feel safe inside this small circle of light. You think about how darkness used to be normal, how people trusted it, how they rested inside it instead of fighting it. The candle doesn't last forever, and everyone knows that. That's why no one wastes it. No unnecessary movement, no rushing. You respect the flame by being calm. As time passes, the light grows a little weaker, just a little, enough to notice. No one reacts. This is expected. Evening isn't meant to last. You adjust your position one last time. Comfortable. Ready? The candle has done its job, not lighting the room, lighting the moment. Your eyes feel heavy now. In a gentle way. Like the day is tucking you in. You don't resist. You don't scroll. You don't check anything. You just exist. And as the candle continues to burn softly, one quiet thought settles into your mind. In 1850, evening by candlelight wasn't about doing something. It was about letting go of everything you already did. Night doesn't crash into the world. It settles. The candle is gone now. Or maybe it's just a tiny dot of light somewhere else. Either way, darkness has taken over gently, and with it comes silence, not complete silence, just the kind that feels wide and deep. You lie down or sit still. The position doesn't matter much. Your body already knows what to do. No glowing screens, no background noise, no hum of machines hiding under the quiet. Nighttime in 1850 has its own sound, and it's mostly nothing. You hear things you forgot existed. A distant dog bark far away, not sharp, just a reminder that life is still there, the wind brushing against the outside. Soft, slow, maybe wood settling. A quiet creak that feels alive, not scary. Your ears don't strain. They relax. Silence here isn't empty. It's full of small, honest sounds that don't demand attention. You breathe in. The air feels cooler now. Fresher. Like the world cleaned itself before sleep. Your body sinks deeper into rest. You don't scroll to feel tired. You already are. Your mind doesn't race through tomorrow's plans. Tomorrow is dark too. Waiting quietly. Night in the modern world is loud even when it pretends not to be. Cars, screens, notifications. Artificial light sneaking through curtains. Here, night means rest. Actually rest. You feel it in your chest, in your shoulders, in your jaw. Everything loosens. You notice how darkness feels different when it's normal, when it's expected, when it's trusted. There's no fear hiding inside it, just stillness. You don't need white noise. The night already knows how to sound. Time moves differently now. Slower than slow. Almost not moving at all. Minutes don't matter. You stop counting. Your thoughts begin to drift, not sharply, but softly. One thought fades into the next, like clouds dissolving. You remember things from earlier in the day, sounds. Light, work, food, they don't feel heavy. They feel complete. Nighttime silence wraps around you like a blanket that doesn't press down. It supports. You feel safe enough to let go somewhere outside. An owl might call, or maybe it won't. Either way, the night remains calm. Nothing unexpected happens. That's the comfort. In 1850, night wasn't filled with entertainment. It wasn't filled with fear either. It was filled with permission. Permission to stop. You don't fight sleep. Sleep arrives when it's ready. Your breathing deepens again. Slow. Steady. Your body knows this pattern. It learned it long before electricity existed. You realize something important. People didn't need bedtime routines back then. Night itself was the routine. Darkness told the body what to do. Silence finished the lesson. You shift slightly. The movement feels small, unimportant. The night doesn't react. It holds you anyway. Your eyes close fully now. The silence doesn't disappear. It stays. Watching over the world. And just before sleep takes you completely, one final thought passes gently through your mind. In 1850, nighttime silence wasn't something people filled. It was something they trusted. Sleep doesn't arrive suddenly. It drifts in. Slow, quiet, almost polite. There's no sound pushing you toward it. No video playing in the background. No voice talking until you fade out. Just the night. You lie still, not because you're trying to sleep, but because there's nothing pulling you away from it. Your body feels heavy in a good way, like it finally stopped carrying the day. No buzzing in your pocket. No last message to check. No light asking for attention. The darkness stays steady. You listen once more. Nothing new appears. And that's comforting. In the modern world, falling asleep feels like a battle. Minds racing, sounds competing, light leaking through everything. Here, sleep feels like permission finally being used. Your breathing slows naturally. You don't control it. Your chest rises and falls at its own pace. The quiet doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels protective. You notice how your thoughts change now. They lose sharp edges. They blur gently. Ideas don't finish. They don't need to. You remember the day in pieces. Morning light. Simple work. Warm food. Long afternoon shadows. No regret. No rush. Nothing unfinished feels threatening. Everything can wait. Night has taken responsibility. Your ears relax fully now. They stop listening for danger. They stop scanning for sound. Silence has proven itself safe. Your muscles let go one by one. Shoulders first. Then arms. Then legs. Your jaw softens. Even your forehead relaxes. You smile slightly without knowing why. Falling asleep without noise feels natural. Like this is what sleep was always meant to be. No countdown, no sleep timer. No trying. Just letting go. You feel yourself sinking deeper, not into the bed, but into rest itself. Time stops making sense. Minutes dissolve. Your thoughts turn into soft shapes instead of words. The night stays quiet, like it promised. No sudden sounds interrupt you. No lights flash. No alerts remind you of another world. You understand something clearly now. Silence isn't boring at night. It's powerful. It gives sleep space to arrive on its own terms. You think about how many people in 1850 fell asleep this way. Night after night, year after year, their bodies trusted the dark. Their minds trusted the quiet. Sleep wasn't forced. It was invited. Your breathing becomes even slower now. You're almost gone, not lost, just resting. The silence doesn't leave when you fall asleep. It stays, guarding the night, and as you finally drift fully into sleep, one last gentle thought fades through your mind. In 1850, people didn't fall asleep despite the silence. They fell asleep because of it.